the street, case on the news.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the space city of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes Houston and quarterback Deshaun Watson. Second straight year he's been a Pro Bowler. Strong numbers again, 26 passing touchdowns, 7 more on the ground. But most people still think he's behind Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes if you're ranking AFC quarterbacks, and don't forget about Brady. But what does he need to do to ascend to that top spot?
He's just got to get his team deeper into the playoffs. And they had a great opportunity this past season because, remember, they were up 24-0 in Kansas City. And that lead went away. But if that does happen, we'll talk about Deshaun Watson in that upper echelon of quarterbacks. He has everything you're looking for. The arm, the legs, the leadership, and the intangibles. His team believes in him and believes that if he has the ball late in the fourth quarter, they've got a chance to win.
It was neat in that Houston-Kansas City game. You know, a lot of times we try to pit two players against one another and talk about the future of a certain sport, but you could really see a battle developing there for a long time to come in the AFC.
And how much fun is that going to be for all of us who are fans in the NFL?
On 2nd and 9, Watson looking for his tight end, fouls, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
As Seattle jogs back on the field here, you can't help but think with their season that the old cliche, the game of inches, comes into play for the 2019 Seahawks because Week 17, that game against the 49ers, Jacob Hollister tackled inches from the goal line, maybe a half a yard. That really changed everything, didn't it?
It certainly did because if Hollister scores and Seattle wins, they end up getting the open week and getting that little extra rest in the playoffs, and San Francisco goes to Philadelphia to play. And in my mind, San Francisco beats Philadelphia but doesn't advance to the Super Bowl. They needed the break as well as Seattle. Seattle went to Philadelphia, had a tough one there, and then got beat at Green Bay in the very next round. So you're exactly right. To me, in my mind, that little bit of space changed everything for them. And by the way, Jacob Hollister did everything correct on that play. The ball was in the correct arm because everybody said, well, if he had in the other arm, he would have scored. But that's not how you hold it in that situation. It was just a terrific tackle by Drain Greenlaw that changed the fortunes for both of those teams.
A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. Now it's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the belt.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now Wilson, and that'll be incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but now it's 3rd and goal. Wilson, after the play fake to Carson, steps away. He may try and... Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Texans scoop it. Through an opening, and there he goes. 30, 10, and they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Whitney Merciless, showing no mercy, flies in for the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And all this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. Taken at about the 36. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Football going back to the Houston Texans. Got another AFC South title this year. They're 4th in 5 seasons. No early exit in the playoffs. They came back to beat Buffalo in OT in the wild card round. Then that stunning 24-0 lead against Kansas City in KC. And you have to imagine they're going to be seeing Patrick Mahomes in their dreams all offseason. Probably a lot of nightmares.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. Kind of reminds you of a Metallica song, doesn't it? Right? I mean, with those kind of nightmares, you don't want to go to sleep. But I go back to something you mentioned earlier. Another AFC South title. They're 4th in 5 years. That's a lot of success that I don't think they get credit for because they haven't had that super deep run in the playoffs. They got to, what, the divisional round this year in Kansas City with a chance to go to the AFC title game with 24-0 lead. If that happens, I think we look back at this Houston franchise in a little bit different light instead of kind of short shrift. Hey, 4 titles in 5 years in the division. But what do they have to show for it? That's the top part for Houston.
That one covers 29 yards, first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Trying to get it that time to Stills, but it'll be 2nd and goal. One man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal. Watson looks to throw again. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. The Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Kenny Stills there to make the grab. And the Texans push further out in front. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. A drive that time of 6 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. There's Wilson to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargreaves with a pick. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
After the interception, here's Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here we go.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you're talking about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
Escaping the pressure right. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
On first down, Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Quentin Jefferson, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
14. Seahawks, nothing.
Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Flushed out right. He's going to... Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you've got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Carson. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 31, Wilson. It's caught. Lock it. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now he's going to use his legs. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
To throw is Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
On second and goal, Wilson. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back?
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 2-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now out comes Houston. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On second down, here's Miller. Miller with first down and more. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's complete to Fuller. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
But no Texas start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
After the sack, you could understand him maybe being a little bit nervous back there, a little skittish. He looked awfully decisive when he took off and ran.
Very decisive and picked up that first down in the process.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Let him go.
A first down carry now for Miller. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5. At the
To throw is Watson. And he's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Texans push further out in front.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run it with Carson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Carson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Wilson. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Now it's Wilson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw again, Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
19!
On 1st and 10, Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And he's got this down to the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Watson on 1st down. And a catch made by Hopkins. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter. And got his man complete.
Let's go. Let's do
Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. They run the counter. Carson. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, 41 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working. And it's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Quentin Jefferson able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now, it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Watson. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And an alley to run. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this for both of these guys running the ball well?
Yeah, they mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility.
Reset. 19. Check. Watch it before. Okay, double up.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long. It's Watson going deep for Hopkins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Now it's Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on third down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up the lead. You think
under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
With the score, Texans 24, Seahawks 14.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Watson now to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Extra point up and through by Myers. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, said, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run with Miller. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
Yeah, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. Returnable for Lockett. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Well, things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Wilson now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Angelo Blackson. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Texans scoop it. The big fella. The 20. And he will score. It's a touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Here's Wilson to throw. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. This is Carson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On 1st First and 10, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson now to throw again. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. He's got daylight past the 20. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one taken from the 7. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Wilson on target there to Moore. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 19. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson, and he's got the hook up to Moore. And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. Now Wilson.
Partner sold the go route.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf there to make the grab. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Miller. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Come on out here. Come get some.
They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Miller. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game. So Houston going to come away here with the victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaughan. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.